Hello, it's your favorite uncle. Thank you once again for catching the hashtag replay. I'm not going to be before. Yes, I am. And so, y'all, this is Percy Jackson, season 2, episode 7, live action, y'all. Let's jump right into it. Now, as y'all know, I like going character by character instead of scene by scene because it's easier to edit it when I need to. Let's jump right into it, y'all. So, we got Percy. Y'all, Percy was acting a lot like Clarice in this episode again. Like, he had that Clarice spirit on him so heavy. Like the spirit of Clarice just fell upon him so heavy. See, y'all, this is why y'all gotta be very careful on who you have around you and who y'all let be in y'all circle because birds of a feather flock together. He been around Clarice so long, he started acting dumb like her. Although we gonna get to Clarice because she was starting to redeem herself. It says Percy's arc is driven by fear of repeating history. Hearing Chiron recount how Zeus turned Thalia into a tree after her sacrifice deeply upsets him, not because the acts. Sorry, y'all. I was reading Thalia. I was reading Annabeth. Sorry. Princess Andromeda, Percy is forced with a moral tactic conflict with Clarice's, highlighting his tendency to prioritize people over plans. Like, Curry. When he finds Annabeth and hides invisibly as Luke arrives, Percy witnesses how far Luke has gone. Now, acting as Kronos' willing instrument, Kronos attempts to sway Percy directly, framing destiny as unavoidable. But Percy reflects that logic by choosing action. Though stabbed by Luke, Percy survives by the fleece's power and makes a selfless call, sending Clarice to camp with it. Still, his victory is hollow, as his vision of Thalia's destroying Camp Half-Blood suggests the worst choice may still be ahead. Okay, y'all, Percy, like I said, was acting a lot like Clarice. He had that Clarice spirit on him, and he was doing a lot of dumb stuff these last 2 episodes. Now, him getting, stabbed was warranted. That didn't need to happen because he was acting dumb, and I needed him to wake up from whatever spirit he had onto him. Now, I do understand his apprehensive of putting that on Thalia because, as he clearly can see, I believe him, and I think Thalia feels the same way as Luke. I feel like that's what that dream is telling us, and I thoroughly agree. And so I thoroughly agree with his, apprehensiveness. But him acting dumb and let me go say, and dude, there are some things way more powerful or way more, adhere to. Like, we have a bigger issue than Annabeth. She would understand. She's Athena's daughter. Come on now. Next, we have Annabeth Chase. Now, y'all, Annabeth's role is defined by Hope Badley Real. Hearing Sharon recount how Zeus turned Thalia into a tree after sacrificing her deeply upset her. Not because the act saved her life, but because it stripped her of her choice. She recognized the pattern repeatedly, now deciding fate without consequence. What's up, bro? Annabeth's role is defined by hope. When Luke confronts her on the ship, she doesn't fight him, she pleads. She reminds him of Thalia and their shared past and offers the fleet as a chance at a redemption rather than destruction. Annabeth believes memory and love can still reach Luke. I don't know why Annabeth is still trying to reach Luke. If I was Annabeth, I'd have took that rope and tied it around him, around his, and, had to take him out. Y'all, we got to save the world. Tough choices have got to be made. Remember, you're Athena's daughter. That's like known to be the goddess of what? Hey, see money. That's known to be the goddess of like war as well. So we gotta do what we gotta do. So that's what she should have done. Now, since the belief nearly cost her, Kronos commanded to unalive her proves that the emotional bond means nothing to the Titans. Luke's hesitation shows his inner conflict, but not enough. I'm doing fine. How about yourself? To stop the violence. Saved by Clarice, Annabeth is left shaken, forced to accept the intelligence and loyalty cannot always outmaneuver cruelty. This moment marks a painful maturation for her, understanding that some bridges cannot be rebuilt. That's good, C Money. I'm happy. Enjoy your day. And thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Now, y'all, I am glad that Annabeth is starting to see what has always been in front of her, and that is Luke ain't your friend, and he never, y'all, Luke was never her friend. I don't know how many times Luke got to say that. Like, he shows it. Luke was never her friend, and I'm glad she's finally seeing that this man never cared about you, never wanted good for you, and was always plotting against you just because he gave you some bracelet and said it's magic and wanted to hug. That don't mean he your friend. Y'all, some of y'all parents betrayed you. They've done far more for you. Now, Luke, once again, y'all do like Luke, y'all. Luke is probably my favorite character. Luke is probably up there with my top favorite characters. I'm just being honest. It says Luke is consumed by unresolved griefs. Sean's recounting of Thalia's sacrifice explains everything Luke has become. He never forgave Zeus for choosing control over compassion. To Luke, the fleece represents correction, a way to undo divine injustice. Placing it on Kronos' sarcophagus is not just rebellion, it's a devotion born from the loss. Yes, Luke is upset, y'all, that Zeus, instead of saving his child like he could have, decided to turn her into a tree. Like I said, let that have been my child. I'd have rolled up on Zeus like, don't thank you, see money. I'd have rolled up on Zeus like, do I need to call your brother Jesus? Do I need to call your brother Jesus? Hello, Mary. I think I need to call your brother Jesus, Zeus, so you can get some back right. I need to get some back right. Jesus is the first person to do this. He'd have turned my child back into a human on that day. On that day. On that day, he'd have turned my child back into a human. As a Luke confrontation with Percy is brutal and personal. He fights not as a villain reveling in power, but as someone convinced he is right. Stabbing Percy is not hesitation, it is resolved. By the end, when Kronos orders Perseus's homegoing, Luke stands at the edge of the total surrendering, proving his loyalty to Kronos now outweighs every bond he once had. Y'all, even within the get the mics up, even within the Luke's group, they're falling apart as well. Kronos told Sally to go take out Luke, told Luke to go take out Perseus, told Luke to go take out Annabeth, telling each other to go that way, go up here, go down, go left, right, and around and around. I am thoroughly convinced that Kronos doesn't really know what he wants either in all of this. He's kind of like winging it as it keeps going. We're going to touch on Kronos too here shortly. As a matter of fact, let's go to Kronos. Kronos shifts from distant threats to commanding presence. From within his sarcophagus, he speaks with calculated, attempting to seduce Percy with inability, arguing that fate cannot be escaped, only delayed. When persuasion fails, Kronos reveals his true nature, domination without mercy. You saw what he did to Luke. You saw what he did. When he controlled Luke, he put that ring down on tight. By ordering Annabeth's death and later commanding Luke to send Percy on home to be with the Lord, Cronus makes his world right unmistakable. Compassion is weakness, choice is illusion. His influence now moves even directly, signaling the war has fully begun. Okay, y'all, so this is one of the reasons why I actually do like Kronos, is because Kronos has been showing people. Hello there, Shane. Kronos has been showing people that he only cares about Kronos. He doesn't care about nothing else but himself. And you see why the gods put the Titans away, because this is how they treated them. Like, think about this, you guys. There's a reason why Kronos is where he's at, and so is the rest of them. It's because of how they treat people. But then the kids go on and treat their kids like the way their daddy treated them. It's an unhealed cycle. This is something that they need to go to therapy for. They need to come up off of Mount Olympus, find an LMFT. This is all family therapy. Get you an LMFT, an LPC, LCSW, sit down and have a conversation, because y'all family is jacked up and it's affecting the rest of the world, literally. Clarice, now y'all, let's get on Clarice. Clarice was not acting dumb for once. For once. Clarice was not acting dumb for once. And I love that about her, because y'all, she was struggling these episodes to do something smart and to do something wise. She was doing something. She was always struggling. But this time she actually did something smart and well thought out and calculated. I was so proud of her. I was like, look at Clarice doing something right for once. Just this once. We all know what the next episode is, but this is what she did. It says Clarice embodies decision actions. While Percy questions and reflects, Clarice commits. Though she disagrees with Percy's approach aboard the ship, she proves her worth when it matters, charging directly into danger to save Annabeth. Her defeat of Allison and her force is raw and uncomprising, showing Clarice's strength is rooted in clarity, not cruelty. When Percy entrusts her with the Golden Fleece, Grease accepts it without pride or protest. Riding Blackjack back to camp, she becomes an unlikely carrier of hope, proving that leadership sometimes means being chosen in silence. This is true. This is true. Y'all, I was so proud of Clarice for finally not being dumb. It took her long enough because you know Clarice been stupid this entire episode. I don't. She couldn't. I wouldn't be air. I couldn't be her daddy claiming her. Who? I don't know who that is. That ain't my child. That ain't. Shout out to this one Tumblr. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me because she was not the smartest. Now we got Sally. Sally remains. Actually, y'all, we got. I would talk about Sharon and Sally, but y'all, I think that's it. Those are the main people. And of course, you guys, we have Tyson and Grover. Tyson and Grover are two people that they were charged in finding ways home. And they both did, which shows why Tyson is probably, like I said, the main character of the show. And Grover is just there along for the ride. But, they're all doing well and I love it. But let me know what y'all think in the comment section, you guys. Get these likes up, like, comment, subscribe, share, come back. Your favorite uncle loves you always, and there's nothing you can do about that. Bye.